Hello, this is Nikki in Niagara coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada. And today we are going to do a color and chat. And we are coloring out of Chibi Girl's Grayscale 2-in-1. And my picture seems to be towards the back of the book, so it's probably from Chibi's too. And I picked this one because it is the only winter themed picture in the book, and I kind of like to go through books that I'm working in and pick out, I don't know, I color seasonally. You know, I color summer pictures in the summer, and in the fall I was coloring all sorts of fall pictures, and now that it's not officially winter yet, but I'm starting to feel wintry since it's so cold. I'm going to be coloring winter-ish pictures and Christmas ones coming up in December. There's no Christmas picture in here, and this is the only one that has snow in it, so I'd like to color it, and then I know this book is done with seasonal pictures. So that's why I picked this. I'm wondering if it's going to be tough to do because there's so much snow in here. But I'll be using my white gel pen a lot to cover up some of the lines in here. So anyways, let's get started. I like to do the background first. Oh, I like to do skin and background. Just hang on because I've left my skin markers over here. Oh. Okay, sorry I went quiet for a minute there, but I forgot where I was looking. Oh, sorry, my back is not working too good today, but I'm back in my seat and comfy. So let's start with the skin. I have a set of chameleon skin tones, and I really like these markers. I just absolutely love the Japanese nib on here. So this is sand, and it looks like the only skin that's showing is the face. So I am going to start with the face, and this is the color sand, which is just a little bit brownish, I believe. So how are we on the screen? I need to try and keep my... I just love these markers. I want to get the complete set of them. I'm not too big on doing the you know, the tip to tip thing. It's not my thing. I just like the markers. I like the nibs, and it's got a nice firm bullet, thin bullet on the other side. And I love how long they are. It makes them so easy to use, and it stops me from using a heavy hand as well. Besides, being in Canada, it's often difficult or impossible to buy from company websites, but Chameleon ships to Canada with decent prices. So when I order some inks, I will be getting them off of there because they're really, Chameleon stuff's really hard to find around here, and it's very expensive on Amazon. So Yeah. I think it would be too expensive to have the actual set of markers sent to me from the US, so I'll buy those here. Probably on Amazon, just waiting for the price to go down a bit. But the prices of the individual markers and stuff are really high. Okay, so that looks like it's skin up there. Let's see where else we have in the... in there. Okay, looks like I got it all. Sorry, I'm knocking the leg. I don't know why. Okay. For a second there, I thought I had forgotten to turn the record button on, but no, we're going. We're 5 minutes in. So, there we go. So, we have the skin done. So, I guess we have a little bit of sky, so let's use a lightish blue. Now I'm using my Copics. I like to use my Copics for grayscale. Don't know. Is that the lightest blue I have here? I don't think I've ever used this one. Oh no, that's way too blue. It's a purpley blue too. Alright, well we'll use this one. It's a phthalo blue. So, I've got some wisps of, I guess that's wind. So I'll just go straight over everything up there. So, I guess the first thing I'll talk about, just to get it out of the way, is this the one I wanted? Yes. It's kind of darker than I thought it would be, but it's gonna dry lighter, and I guess this just kind of puts it closer to a night sky. Oh yeah, it could be the time of year up there where it's night all the time, and this could be the color of the sky. I always make up little stories as I go along when I'm coloring a picture. Do you do that? So yeah, the one thing I want to talk about is this fine for the FTC. I've been listening to a lawyer. The channel's called Hoag's Law, H-O-E-G, Hoag's Law. Just type that in the search bar and it'll, when you get to the E, it will bring it up in your search bar. And he's explaining a lot of things and really putting mind to rest. And I've also done some research on my own so that I can feel at rest about not worrying about this fine. I'm not worried about it at all. I'm not a U.S. citizen, and someone mentioned that perhaps by agreeing to the YouTube terms of service, I've put myself under U.S. law, but I sincerely, highly doubt that, because I can't sign away my rights. My rights as a Canadian, my civil rights as a Canadian. And if we're charged from another country by something, I read this on a legal site, and it said a Canadian a Canadian is due his day in court. Something like that. Just anyways, we get our day in court. I don't know if it's like this in other countries, but when we get a parking or a speeding ticket, you get a court date so that you can go fight it if you want. Now, most people don't fight it because, you know, what proof have they got that they didn't break the law when, you know, 99% of the time you were speeding or parked in the wrong place. But, you know, there's always the people that always have to go fight everything. But it's one of our civil rights is that we can have our day in court for anything. So, what it said about that was that I would be due my day in court, and that now I'm going to use a very faint gray on the mountains now, and that court must be the nearest court to must be in my nearest district court. So, first of all, they'd have to decide whether I was breaking municipal, provincial, or federal law to know which court to go to. And then after that, I would get to go to the courthouse that was nearest to where I live. So somebody's got to come here to do that. But then what it said, and this applies to all Canadians, then what it said was that we must then be charged with an equivalent Canadian law. So they can't charge me with the American law. So they can't charge me with breaking the COPA law. They have to find a Canadian law, which is the equivalent of what they want to charge me with. And Canada doesn't have a COPA law. We have some guidelines that are our version of COPA to protect the rights of children's data online, but they aren't enforceable by law. So you can break them and you're not breaking the law. And of course that's kind of a big deal in here. People are fighting, working, whatever, to get that law changed, but at the moment that's how it stands, and it's been like that for quite a while. So they would have no law to sue, I guess would be the word, me under. So I'm just not worried. Now, should I, what hint of color would I have in the ice? It'll probably be the blue, because I usually use very faint gray or very faint blue for snow and ice. So if I do the rest of it with the blue color, and then I'm not sure what I'll do for the igloos, but we'll see. Oh, that's the wrong one. Eek. This is the one I wanted. Darn. Oh well. So there's a blue line there, whatever. There we go. That's the color I wanted. This is called Pale Blue Gray. This is a perfect color for doing ice. Yeah, so, and I'm sure people in other countries have protection too against being charged by a foreign country. And this site, Hope's Law, they also said that, oh, and this is another reason why I'm not worried. And this, it actually says this in the law. It says that you can be fined up to 42,000 and however many $100. So that's the most you can be charged. And then it says that the amount of the fine is dependent on how much the company makes. So COPPA is really written to companies. Everything that it says in there refers to the company or the corporation or the business. It doesn't refer to individual people like YouTube creators. But anyways, so if you make $20 a month, your fine is going to be based on that. Plus, it also said it will also take into consideration that the fine won't make you bankrupt. So, I'm not worried about being fined anywhere near $42,000. And I was reading collectible toys guy. Well, I wasn't reading. I visited his site because he was saying something about COPPA. And I was interested in what the toy collectors were doing because that's a place that I see could be hit pretty hard. And he said he had already been scanned by the YouTube bots. So they're out there and they're running. There's no December 10th date that we were given that it would start. It's already going. So anyways, he was pretty pleased because his whole channel was all about toy reviews. And he only had two series that had been flagged. One was all his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff, and he said he agreed with that because while he was reviewing adult collectibles, he was actually reviewing the toys bought from the store as well, so he agrees with that. The other thing was all his Masters of the Universe stuff, and that seems to be his area of specialty because he said nobody's taking my Masters of the Universe away from me. And he said that, okay, so is that, yeah. So, he said he put them all back to adult only. So that's one thing that I was glad to hear, was that after YouTube, after the bot goes through your site and flags you, you still have the ability to change it. Because what I plan on doing is waiting to see what waiting to see what the bot does with my site, and then looking at the videos that it flagged and deciding what it is about the video that made them flag it. And if it's because I don't have any wording that the video is intended for adults only, then I'm going to add that and unflag it. Because you may have noticed the last couple of videos and this one that I now have a little sign that comes up at the beginning that says that this site is not intended for children and what exactly it is intended for. And I also have a disclaimer at the bottom of all my coloring videos that this is an adult channel and not intended for children. The lawyer that I've been listening to said that if you went to court because of the fine, that having the intent of your site, written there in each video would probably be enough to for you to use as I'm having a hard time talking. I can't even think about what the legal words are. You would have enough on your side to protect yourself, that saying that you intended the video was for adults and you said so, and he's saying that that is probably going to be enough as far as the FTC is concerned. And what else did he say? Yeah, also he's been reading parts of the law to us, and it always says intend. What is your intent? So it's not so much what your site, whether your site can be appealing to children. It's what is your intent. So yeah, I don't really want to go into that anymore. I mean, everybody has their own opinions and has decided what they're going to do themselves. And I've made my decision, and yeah, that's it. You'll see the changes that I make as you watch my channels, and at this point I won't be making any more changes than I already have until the bot goes through my site. Then I guess I'll discuss with you what's happening at that point. But I'm not concerned about being fined $42,000. If everything I said doesn't hold up, the worst that's going to happen to me is that I'll be taken to court and fined, what I can afford, which isn't much. I'm handicapped, and my income is according to that. So I'm using egg white on the igloos. So you see, when I put them down, it basically just looks like I'm making the page wet, but you can see the faint colors in the sections that I've done. I really like these 0 and 00 colors of the Copic markers. And I'm going to have to get set E sometime because that's got the rest of the light colors and the skin tones and the grays and pastels. And I really use those a lot. So, people are starting to talk about Christmas, which to me feels a little too early. Oh, I don't have a 3. Now this might be too light. Yeah. Trying to find a gray for the rocks. I just brought over one of my things of Copics. I've got 2 of them, but I didn't want to bring them both over. Well, these are a bit dark, but they're not that dark. Yeah, okay, that looks alright. So yeah, a lot of people are starting to talk about Christmas on their YouTubes. Are you thinking about it? Have you got your shopping done? Do you know what you're doing? Do you have a big Christmas or small one? Do you celebrate Christmas? I know not everybody does. Well, I'm Catholic, so I celebrate Christmas. But to us, Christmas is December 25th until January 6th. Prior to that, we don't celebrate any Christmas stuff. We do Advent. Last couple of years, we haven't been putting up a tree. Maybe I'll use this color. I love this color. It's called Lionette Gold. No, I'm not going to use it. I wonder if that would be a good color for the dog. Yeah, okay. I'm going to do the dog this color. This is actually going to be quite a dull colored picture. I didn't really intend for that, but maybe I'll make his parka a bright color. Oh yeah, this looks nice for the dog's color. Now I'm kind of going in a curvy pattern here because that's the way his skin is going. Not his skin, his fur is going. So yeah, we have everything all sorted out for Christmas. For my eldest son, he doesn't live here. He will be coming down with his partner. Don't know the exact day, but it'll be Boxing Day or a few days after that. Oh, he's got a blanket on him. Oh, I see. Okay. And then there's just the 3 of us here. Me, my husband, and our other son, who is 19. We decided we weren't going to do presents this year because the 19-year-old has enough money that he saves up and buys himself stuff that, you know, we can't really compete with what he can buy himself. And there's no point getting presents for the sake of getting presents, you know? So we're not going to do presents. Instead, we, my husband and I, are going to spend the money on going out and having a nice day. So we figure we'll go to a movie, and then we'll have a really nice dinner somewhere. We've been going out for dinner on holidays for quite some time now. It's gotta be at least 10 years that we've not cooked a meal here at home. Well, you know, there's just the three of us, and you can't get a turkey small enough for 3 people. So, I guess that is part of his ear. Yeah, so that's what we'll do. We'll go to midnight mass, and then we'll come home and go to bed, and then on Christmas Day we will go see a movie. Hopefully there's something good, because we don't like Disney and we don't like Star Wars. I have a feeling that both of those are going to be the big movies for Christmas Day. So hopefully we can find something good. And then we'll go out for dinner, and then the next day, or a day or two after that, the other son will come down, and then we'll exchange gifts with him, and that will be our Christmas. And at some point we will go down to the falls and drive through the Festival of Lights. We do that every couple of years or so. Didn't go last year, so may actually have been a few years since we've gone, so yeah, we'll definitely go. Definitely go this year. Okay, so now let's get some hair here. Is this that Buttercup? Nope. There's a color here called Buttercup something that I really like for blonde hair. This is it. Yes, this is it. Okay, so this is my blonde hair color. It's kind of like straw. I think it's a good hair color. You're probably getting kind of bored at the dull colors in this, but so how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. And if you're not, then I hope that you get through today okay, and that tomorrow will be a better day for you. Keep your mind on pleasant things, and keep your mind and your hands busy with activities such as coloring that's going on right now. I hope you're coloring something while you watch me, or some other activity. That's got me a little bit stuck. That's definitely hair, but it doesn't have lines in it. Yeah, I don't know how well you can see this hair, but it's, to me, it's just the absolute perfect blonde hair color. Alright, well, let's give him a gorgeous green eye. And this probably isn't dark enough. No. I don't think I've used this one. Nile green. That's pretty. Okay, so he's only got one eye here. So add a little bit more color to the picture. There, that's nice. So one thing that's been bothering me is that I have a dentist appointment, and I went to the dentist. I got my teeth cleaned, and then they said that there was a couple of, just hang on a sec, I have to get my colorless blender. Oh wait, it's right here. I went out of the line a little bit on his eye there, and that's going to bother me if I don't erase it. There we go. And just a minute, I'm going to take a sip of my drink. And they said that they needed to do some maintenance. That I had two fillings that needed redoing, and there was one other thing they said they had to do, and they called it maintenance. So there's that. The problem is that I've canceled my appointment twice now for going in and getting that done. Because what color are fish? They look like trout. No. All I can think of is to make them a boring color. I don't know. Fish are just kind of gray-brown, boring color. What's this? Warm gray number 3. That's not what I used for the rocks. No, it's not. Alright, that's what color my fish are going to be. And I'll use kind of a yellowish color for the basket. So yeah, I've canceled it because I really, really, really do not like going to the dentist. So I go twice a year to get my teeth cleaned. And then I usually don't have to do anything else, but I've got this follow-up appointment and I just get so anxious about it because the thing I don't like about going to the dentist is I don't like people getting that close to me. I just absolutely can't stand people being in my space. And for the dentist to be like right up in my face, it just drives me nuts. And I have to load up on my anti-anxiety pills. Oh, I can use that darker, this color. So I've got to make another appointment and I've got to go. I can't keep not going. So I'm going to be thinking on that. I'll get my husband to make the appointment, and then I have got to go. Alright, well, let's start putting some color in here now. Let's give the dog a really red collar. This is cardinal. I like that. And I'll use my gel pen for the metal parts on it. And the other thing that's been on my mind is that I really want a Clara Markova book. I know. First world problem. But I do. I just absolutely love them. I don't have any. And this whole year, every time somebody gets out either Fairy Miracles or Tenderful Moments, I just drool over it. And now that the new book is out, it's just making me drool even more. Okay, I have got to get rid of this blue line over here that I made. It's the wrong color. Hopefully I didn't wait too long to erase it. Ooh, it's going nicely. Very good. So, I don't want to get that one though. If I got one, it wouldn't be Fairy Celebrations, because that one, it's just, I don't know, like I haven't seen any in person in real life, but it seems, Celebrations seems like the pictures are busier than in the previous ones. That's just kind of the feel I get. Like even when I saw the first flip through of it, my mind is still on either Fairy Miracles or Tenderful Moments. Is that what it's called? Yeah, I think so. I think it's called Tenderful Moments. Okay, so the dog has got a blanket on him. So maybe we'll add some more green. Don't want the same green as he did for his eye. Okay, so we'll use this one. But the Clara books are so expensive. She doesn't, or they, I don't know if it's her or the publisher, does not sell the books on Amazon Canada. So that's not an option. I can't buy it from Amazon US or UK because those are set up so as to not ship to Canada. So my only option is through Etsy. And they cost, I think they cost $36.99 Canadian, and then shipping is around $15. So that's just over $50 for a coloring book. And I have a really, really hard time justifying that. I certainly won't be doing it 4 times so that I have all her books. But I have them on my Etsy wish list, and I go there and I drool over them there, and I drool over them when someone gets them out, starts coloring in them. Actually, I've stopped watching people coloring out of them because my drool button gets turned on, and I just don't want to be wanting something that much. And nobody ever gives me money for a present, so that won't be coming. Can't save it for a gift. But the thing is I just really can't justify spending $50 on one coloring book, even though I would covet it. Or not covet it, I covet it now. I would treat it very, very special. And I would color in it, because I've definitely learned to color in the things in the books that I like. That's why I buy them. I buy them to color in, not to sit on the shelf and look pretty. Sorry, not my thing again. Okay, so I can't believe I'm almost done. So, obviously his fur is going to actually be animal fur, so I don't want to do it gray because I got too much gray on here already. Well, actually, let's not do it yet. Let's decide what color his parka is going to be. So I've got his parka, his mitts, and his boots. Okay. I want red. Well, let's go with blue. Okay. Maybe he had this flown in on the biplane. Is that what it's called? Those little planes that fly out to the Arctic. So he had this flown in for him. And that's why it's blue. It's the only thing he has that came from the store. Because obviously he is a Canadian Inuit, and I'm going to say that he lives in the Northwest Territories. Outside of Yellowknife. He lives too far to get there, but that's the general area where he lives. Okay, so what's that? That is part of his coat that is showing behind his mouth. It kind of looks like I'm sticking something blue in the dog's mouth, but so what would you do if you had the money to buy the Clara Markova book, but you really, really, really didn't want to spend that much money on one thing? I mean, heck, I could get like 5 Jade Summer books for the same price. And that's an awful lot of coloring. But then Jade Summer books are always easy to get. I can get one at a time. They don't cost that much. I don't even know if there's 5 I want at the moment. I was really disappointed with Jade Summer this Christmas. I mean, first of all, at the beginning of November, they tell us that they're going to put out 2 new books, because they put out a book on Fridays. I think they do it every other Friday or twice a month or something like that. Or maybe they put one out every Friday. I'm not sure. I haven't belonged to the group long enough. But anyways, they tell us that what they're going to do is they're going to put out they're going to put out 2 new books throughout November. Instead, like every Friday. And instead, they won't put any out in December. And except for the first week, they've only been giving us 1. And 1 week, they didn't give us any. Well, they did. They ended up giving us 1 like about 3 or 4 days late. So yeah, I mean, I understand that they have their plans didn't go according to plan. Either the artists needed more time to get the book ready, or they had printing problems, or, But now they're saying that, because people are asking, well, since you didn't do what you said you would do, are you gonna give us stuff in December then? And they said probably not. And yeah, so I don't know, there's been 1, 2, 3, maybe about 5 books, 5 or 6 that have been put out. Well, that sounds like a lot, doesn't it? That mustn't be that many. Must be 4 or 5. Anyways, I haven't wanted any of them except for Christmas patterns, but I don't know whether it's worth getting because I'll only have a couple of weeks to work on it because I can't order until the end of the month. And I have plans for my money since it's Christmas time. Do you think red mittens would be too much? Well, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to give them navy boots. Instead of black, I'm going to go with dark blue, and this is Prussian blue. I don't like using colors this dark for the grayscales. Hopefully the lines will show up through it and I can use the white gel pen to highlight them. I mean, like if these were real mucklucks, they would be brown because they'd be made out of like elk hide or something. But I've got enough of dull, boring colors on here. So come down here, and then, okay, there's only one sole showing through. And I guess I'll do the soles dark gray. And my voice has been pretty rough for this video. I don't know why. I don't have a cold. But it sounds like it's coming back to normal now. Hopefully I didn't sound too gruff. So I'm almost finished the coloring portion of this, and then I'll just have the work that I'm going to do with gel pens, and I might cover the snow down here. I might cover that with stickles so that it looks like it's sparkling. I'm pretty sure I have one. Well, I have one that's either clear or whitish. I just haven't used it yet, so I don't know exactly how it looks. Yeah, so back to Jade Summer about I never finished what I was saying there. And I haven't, like, well, I was talking about how I liked Christmas patterns. And, yeah, so I don't think I want to get that because Christmas will be over by the time I got it anyways. So I'll always get it next Christmas. And the other one is the one that came out this week. It's called Fantasy Kids. And it has cute, not humans. Well, some of them are humans, but there's elves and other humanoid type creatures. Some of them fantasy, some of them real. It has them in fantasy situations. So there's a kid and a fantasy scene in each picture. So it's really nice. I like it. And there's a lot of pictures are different. They're not all the same thing. So I'd like that one. So maybe I'll get that one. And hopefully they come up with something else good. What I want to know is when they're going to come out with another Grayscale book. When they came out with the 2-in-1 volume of vampires, Vampire 1 and Vampire 2 together in one book, that really annoyed me. Because it should have been a Grayscale book. They already have Vampire 1 in Grayscale. So all they would have had to do was make Volume 2 into Grayscale. And that's all done on the computer, so it can't take that long. Okay, well I think if we give him red mitts, that'll... No, let's use this. Let's use this really deep wine burgundy color cardinal. We use that for his mitts. So yeah, not pleased with their offerings. Not only did they not give us enough books that they said they were, the books that they have been releasing haven't been of interest to me, particularly except for this last one, Fantasy Kids, and there's no Grayscale. It's been ages since they came out with a Grayscale. I think the last one was Cute Fairies, and that's just one of their old ones redone in Grayscale. And I already had it in one of those fantasy 4-in-1s. What they need to do is come out with another 2-in-1, put 2 books together that they've already published, and do it in one book so we don't get duplicates. That would make That would make recycled material worthwhile for Grayscale. Or a totally 100% new book in Grayscale. But you know, that's just going to make the people who don't like Grayscale say, oh, we want the book too. And then they'd have to make it in line art, and then it wouldn't be an exclusively Grayscale one. Alright, so now let's go back to this color and put it over where I erased that blue. There, much better. Oh, I know, I need to do his mouth. Okay, well, I can't think of anything else to say right now, and oh darn, we've just gone over an hour. I've got an hour and 1 minute. After an hour, my camera starts a second file, so I'm going to have 2 files to put together, and the second one's only going to have 1 minute on it, or a couple of minutes. What color would I do the fur? Has to be an animal color. Well, we don't want it to be a polar bear because there's enough pale colors on here. Don't want it gray because then why even bother coloring it? It already is gray. Oh, I can do the dog's nails black. This is slate. That's a gray, isn't it? Yeah, even though it's labeled under a blue-violet. So that's gonna leave, that's just gonna leave animals like the elk, which is brown, and I have plenty of brown already too. Alright, well, what shade of brown don't I have? I don't have let's see. Well, I guess I don't have like a medium. Just putting these back. Hard to find where I've got empty. There we are. Okay, so there's not a ton of browns in here. Did I use this one? I think I might have used this one for that. Yeah, I did. Okay, well at least it's not adding a new color. Alright, so let's get this done. And then I'll finish it up with all the extra bits after. Okay. I wonder if there's anything I could put on that to make it seem soft. Don't really want to put, I want to put stickles on it. So, it looks like I'm not going to buy any new Christmas books at this time. I've already bought a couple. Well, I got that free color by number one from Belba family, and I really like that. Oh, I did want to get Sun Life Drawings Christmas mandala one. Oh yeah, I do want that. Okay, maybe I'll get that. So maybe I'll get that. If I do that, it'd be the only one. So I've got the Belba family Christmas color by number, and I ordered last month. I ordered Deborah Muller's Christmas books for this year. Christmas mermaids and Christmas gnomes, and they're both really cute. And then I don't have a ton of Christmas books, but I've got like maybe 6 or 7, something like that. Well, it looks like it's raccoon fur, but they don't have raccoons up there. And I think he lives too far north for there to be brown bears. It's too furry to be an elk or a caribou or a reindeer, whatever you call it in your country. Beaver. Oh, no, they're not furry. Well, it's some kind of furry brown animal that lives that far north. Oh, what about a musk ox? They're more hairy than they are furry. Whatever. It's kind of bothering me now. Oh, wait a minute. We said that he bought this coat from the store. It was flown in on the last shipment from the plane that came in with stuff from down below. Or below the, what do they call it? Below the 40th parallel or something? So, alright, you know what? Here, let me finish this one I'm working on. Just going to finish this one I'm working on, and then I'm going to go, because my back is actually really killing me at this point. So, what I'm going to do, well, let's finish this off, then I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Alright, so I'm going to finish off the brown fur. So I've got around the cuffs and the bottom of his pants. Then I'll just recheck and make sure I didn't miss anything. I haven't. Then I'm going to get out my white gel pen or my Posca, and I'm going to go over the black lines in the sky, in the mountains, all along the edge here of the ice, and I think I will get a different color, something that kind of matches those igloos, to go over the lines in the igloo. Then I will put some stickles on the snow on the ground and some metallic gel pen on the middle on his collar. Yeah, so just the bits of the fur on his parka left, and then all the little extras, embellishments. So I almost finished the picture with you. It's the first time I've gotten that close to being done. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed your time spent with me here, and I wish you a happy day tomorrow. and good health. So, in the meantime, until next time, bye-bye.